As we continue to look at the history of the church in Revelation, we come to Revelation chapter 2 and verse 19, where we have the assembly at Thyatira. Now, here it says, I know your works, love, service, and faith, and your patience, and your works to last more than the first. Nevertheless, I have a few things against you, because you allowed the woman Jezebel, who calls herself a prophetess, to teach and seduce my servants to fornicate and to eat offerings to idols. This is a period in the time of the church where paganism began to infiltrate the church, where leaders began to try to bring more people into the church by actually changing the message, by taking holidays that the pagans were celebrating and trying to convert them over to Christian holidays. And of course, we still have the impact of this today. In addition, we have the harlot Jezebel. Now, this harlot is a reference to one who commits adultery, that is, one who is committing spiritual adultery. She begins to bring in a bunch of false teaching. And of course, because they're mixing with paganism, a lot of the false understandings of their gods begin to come into the church. This is where we have the worship of idols, where saints become idols. And rather than praying to God, you're actually praying to a saint. Or putting Mary upon a pedestal where she is actually above Jesus, who is God in the flesh. The church has nothing to do with darkness. We have nothing to do with paganism. We don't serve false gods. And that's something we really need to pay attention to. But sadly, what this has done is it has brought into the church bondage back into the elementary principles of the world, where we're giving a specific day more credit than another. We of the church should be celebrating the resurrection of Christ. That is our celebration. And yeah, the world doesn't like that. The world doesn't want to hear about the resurrection of Christ. But we should be celebrating that every single day by living out who we are in Christ and enjoying the benefits that God has actually given to us. Now remember, we actually belong to God. And God has nothing to do with paganism. When we were Gentiles, that is, prior to being saved, we walked as the Gentiles walked. We walked in these pagan ways where we were fornicating with idolatry. That is, we were serving all kinds of things that we would make God that actually are not God. But now we belong to God. Our actions should show that. And especially, we should be completely separated from paganism, living a life that truly does manifest who we are in Christ and cast off those works of darkness.